Where am I going to put all the stuff I just bought this episode? Where? What hard decisions am I going to have to make to remove some of the stuff from its presence, from its position here in the $5 game box, to make room for the other stuff we have for the $5 game box this episode? Whirlwind. It's the only way to describe it. A whirlwind few days. Just a few days ago, last Thursday, it's Tuesday, last Thursday, I did the pickup recap for last episode of the $5 game box. So now this is fines from, I didn't do anything Friday. This is fines from Saturday, fines from Sunday in our trip to Butte, and the sale of the Super Nintendo. This is amazing. So let's update the funding wallet, which we have a big chunk of cash in here from the sales. And I had a big chunk of cash, and I went garage selling. And then we made some sales. And then I bought some more stuff, and I still have a chunk of cash. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 160, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 1, 2, 3, 174 and a quarter. 174 and a quarter. In our online funds, which I think I updated earlier in the episode, 64.51 after the funds released from the sale of the GBA on Macari. So we've got some, we're working towards more funds for our next goal game. And have a beer, have a burp, relax. Let's check out what we got on this episode of the $5 Game Box, Season 2, Episode 12. PriceCharting.com values, accurate as of 9:06 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time on August 14th. Price charting is a guide, not a Bible. Okay. We'll start with this handheld lot. I was kind of iffy on buying this because I'm not the biggest fan of handheld gaming. I mean, I enjoy a lot of handheld games that I played, but when I play on a console. I don't ever really have a chance to take public transit here in Bozeman. I'm always driving. I fly very rarely, maybe once or twice a year at most. And most of my flights, if I go anywhere, it's Las Vegas. That's like an hour flight, so I'm not exactly bored enough that I gotta always pull out my 3DS or whatever. So when I saw all this handheld stuff, I was very hesitant when she put an offer of $40 out there. But then I'm like, well, we had 3 systems. We had, a lot of games, some good games. So I did it, and then I saw the new Super Mario Brothers Wii, and she said $2, so $42 for all that. Now, you saw earlier, I went to GameStop. Here's the receipt for that one. We sold the DS Lite. I learned it was called Metallic Rose. It was in really good shape. We sold Namco Museum DS and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And the new Super Mario Brothers Wii. Now, based on those 4 sales alone, we spent $42 on this lot. I've already earned $43.20. So we're up $1.20 with all this stuff still left. First thing we have is a Game Boy Advance, very similar to the one we just sold on Macari that brought our funds up to the 63, whatever it was. Only difference is it's got this Pelican accessory back, which I guess is a grip, and doubles as a battery cover, so it's missing its real battery cover. She didn't have it. It does work, and overall, like the unit itself, outside of not having the real battery cover, is in much better shape than the one I just sold. The speakers work. It's got less scratches. It's less sturdy. Maybe I can make another $20 off it, bundled with a few of these games that we've got here. I'm not going to have a Mario 3 to put with it, but we'll see. PriceCharting.com has it valued at $28.55. Next, we have this GBASP, an AGS 101 model. No charger came with this. However, I have the exact same model, actually, and I put my charger in, and it works. It charges just fine. So, I don't know how much a GBA charger, whether a Nintendo branded one or a third-party one, goes for. Like to buy one off eBay or Amazon or something. But according to price charting, this goes for $44.60. So I will definitely look into what a charger sells for. If it's worth my while, I'll get a charger and try to flip the GBA. Once again, maybe with a few of these games. Speaking of the games, I mean, we're not going to do pricecharting.com values of all of these, but Scooby-Doo 2, Shark Tale, Rugrats Castle Capers, Totally Spies, like Totally Spies, man. Mission Impossible Operation Surma, Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem, Kim Possible, Powerpuff Girls Him and Seek, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like I said earlier, on GBA that's worth nothing, unlike on GameCube or Xbox where it's worth like, 15 or so. Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl, and SpongeBob SquarePants movie in kind of rough shape. We also got this Pokemon Pinball right there with a battery cover. I'm assuming it's a Rumble Pack, and it takes a AAA battery. And according to price charting, Pokemon Pinball goes for $10.02. Okay. And there's a Game Boy Advance SP case that all those are in. Now we have this Nintendo DS case. And I believe that Pink DS was in it. Got a little extra stylus right there. And inside we are holding some games. 2 DS games left because I sold the Call of Duty and sold the Namco Museum. We have Battles of Prince of Persia right there. No, fuck it, it's not going to focus. And Sonic Rush. GBA games in here, we have Monster Force, Danny Phantom, The Ultimate Enemy, and finally some half-decent games. Sonic Rush is worth $7.87 according to price charting. Here is Crash Bandicoot Purple, worth $8.93 according to price charting. We have, there's other Crash games. Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure, worth $7.06. Crash Nitro Kart, which is worth, I didn't write it down. Must not be worth anything. Alright, Super Mario Advance, worth $9.15. There it is. Oh, fuck it. Throw them out here. Super Mario Advance 2 Super Mario World, worth $9.99. And finally, the best find as far as the games in here, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, worth $18.99, according to pricecharting.com. So that's not a bad little haul, especially considering we've already made money, so anything we make off of the systems and any of the games we happen to sell is complete gravy. It also came with this charger for a Game Boy Color. So I've got a charger for a GB Color, okay. And this... She said this was the power supply for the GBA, but it's really just a link cable of some sort with a, I don't know what this is supposed to offshoot to. She said this was the adapter to power it on, but it's not a USB cable, so I don't know what that is. Alright, let's move on. I think our next find was this Battlefield 1 for $1. at a G sale. Disc is in okay condition. The case is busted as hell. But for $1, can't complain. Doesn't trade in for much at GameStop. Price charting has it worth $9.60. I've heard it's half decent. Maybe I'll run through the single player in another life. GameCube games for $1 each. This was a good find as well. We have GoldenEye Rogue Agent, complete with both discs, worth $9.08 according to price charting, and NBA Street, both in really nice condition. I wish they had more Game Boy games. She's had them thrown in their DVDs, so I just emptied the box on the ground. $9.24 according to PriceCharting.com. Couple good GameCube games. All right, our last big find this Saturday was the Super Nintendo lot. That box of Super Nintendo with a controller, hookups, and I believe 10 games. We paid $60. The guy wanted to buy the new Madden, so he's willing to part with it for $60. So far, I've earned $105 on that. We sold the SNES yesterday for $80 with Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Mario Paint, the mouse, and Bulls vs. Blazers. Sold that for $80, and then I sold those beat-up copies of Link to the Past and Donkey Kong Country 2, which had torn labels and were in bad, rough shape. Sold those for $25 total at the Retro Game Store. Maybe I could have gotten more, but I was kind of wanting quick cash, and considering the condition, I didn't want to deal with hagglers and whatnot. I knew he'd give me a fair price, and he did. And so we're already up $45 on the bundle. What we have left from the box, I have a bunch of extra Nintendo branded AV cables. I've had a run where I found them almost every week at this thrift store on half price day, like sometimes 2 at a time. So I've got a few left. I've got this little multi hookup, which is what he put in the box. It's got the cables, and I don't know if that's an S-Video. And we have hookups for PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Yeah, I don't know if it hooks up PS4. I doubt it. But PS2 and PS3 for sure. Xbox 360, and the Nintendo AVs right there. Okay. Put that right there. The games we have left. These first 3 I'm going to try to sell on Bakari to up our online funds. Like I said, we've already made money, so everything else is gravy. We have Donkey Kong Country 3. According to price charting, goes for $19.17. Yoshi's Island, which is, I don't know if you know, Juice Daddy's favorite Super Nintendo game. This goes for $23.17. And Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I'm sorry. Yeah, $23.17. This goes for $23.81. I'm kind of hoping to average at least $20 per title on these 3, so that would be nice. And the only game we're keeping in the $5 game box is Mario is Missing. It's the only game out of that box I did not have, so we're going to go ahead and add it. And luckily, these 4, considering the condition of some of the other games, these 4 are in really nice shape. So these 3 should sell for, a pretty decent price. And we're adding that in good condition into the game box. Okay. So we make a bunch of sales on Saturday. I get the wallet back up like to $190 something, I think. I forgot the count. And then I see this garage sale ad, which actually was posted the day before. They had curb alerted on their garage sale ad. It basically said, we'll put a bucket out, or we'll leave and you give what's fair, Xbox games. I'm like, holy shit. That ad was hours old, like over almost a day. So I'm like, any Xbox is gone, but they say they're running Sunday. I'll go grab a coffee and check it. And sure enough, there was a bunch of games. And if I wasn't taking this trip to Butte, I would have grabbed a bunch more. They had a Sonic Generations for Xbox 360, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. They had, I think, 1 or 2 other Xbox One games. They had Minecraft for 360, which I could have flipped for like a couple extra dollars. It's on a quick flip to GameStop. But since I wanted to keep as much money as possible for the trip, I only bought these 4 games for $5 each. and I can't complain. Middle-earth Shadow of War. That's the new one. It's not the first one. It's the second one. These aren't PriceCharting.com values. They're actually GameStop Elite member, which is what I am, which credit now. It would have been cash on Sunday because that was the last day of their cash and trade, or the same day. But right now it's credit. $7.20 is what I get for credit today. Plants vs. Zombies 2. If you remember about a year ago when GameStop was doing like the 70% bonus trade-in credit, this was the one you wanted to find because they were giving like $32 for this game with the bonus, and that was amazing. Right now I can get $12 credit. Far Cry Primal, I sold this off. I actually had a copy, I think, for PS4. I sold this off because it was given decent credit back then. Now it'd be worth $6. And finally, Overwatch Origins Edition, which GameStop still gives $15.60 credit for. And that's awesome. $5 a piece. I'm not going to complain one bit. That's amazing. Okay, so now we are at our Sunday trip. And let me just say, I thank you for the invite, Terry. I really appreciate it. Not just because of the great stuff I found, but it was really great. So we meet his guy, Greg, if I'm remembering right, and I remember names horribly. We meet his friend, and I've been told this guy, he collects NES. He's going for a full set. His mom's got a shop. He's got a couple cases in his mom's shop that he keeps games. We go there, I meet him, he opens up the store, they're closed on Sunday, he comes down, opens up the store, oh, I don't have any games, I sold them all. Oh, crap, I sold this guy Jeremy, and he's got a shop, he's got like a magic shop, a magic card, but he sells games out of there, but let me call him, see if I open up. So Greg calls this guy Jeremy agrees to come down to his shop on a day he's closed, and open it up for Terry and I to go in there and game hunt. I felt like the fucking Game Chasers, like Billy and the other guy. What's the other guy's name? Like, we're in there in this game store, and not just looking at the shelves, we're digging through boxes, like, yeah, in the back, we got some stuff back there. We are going through, and we got there's nobody else in there. It was just amazing. It was, that felt good. It felt good. So, because I kind of had my heart set on some NES stuff, I kind of head over towards the NES and Super NES stuff. And probably looking back, maybe I should have bought a couple more. There were some games I didn't have for my collection. But I wanted to, I was like, let me make sure. There's a lot to look at. And the first thing I really zeroed in on, it wasn't like the greatest selection, but there was a nice little chunk of Master System stuff, and it was decently priced. And right then, I'm like, that kind of broke it. Like, all right, I'm gonna start bundling up here. I'm gonna start creating my pile. It was with Master System. The first thing, and it's not in the best condition cart. It's ripped and it's not complete, but Double Dragon on the Master System. I love Double Dragon, and I love the Master System. Ever since Terry's the one that he traded me the Master System. We made a trade, and that's how I got my Master System. Ever since getting that, I think it's a fun system. It's a system that's missed, and I know it's not easy to collect for because it's not something you find out in garage sales or thrift stores or flea markets or whatnot. But my, oh my, it is fun. It's got some great games. So they had Double Dragon priced at $9.90. Price charting has it valued at $12.34. All right. So I see that. Then I look at the boxed ones, and most of the boxed ones he had, I also had. There's a few copies of Choplifter. There's the Hang On Safari Hunt he had. Some sports games, but two he had I did not have, and they were both priced at $5 in his store. Action Fighter. The case is rough, but the cart looks pretty decent. No manual. I wonder, the retro game store here has a bunch of manuals for Master System loose. I may have to double check his stack to see if it's in there. There is a store, by the way, if you're ever in Butte, Montana. A Games. There they are. Really awesome. If you get the chance. So Action Fighter Complete, which this isn't, unfortunately, $11.99. I'd probably go a little bit less based on the condition, but $5 is what he had it priced at. Excuse me. And here's Aztec Adventure. The other one, this one's in really nice shape. It's got the hang tab. The box is in really nice shape. And yes, no, it's not complete. That's just a poster. But the cart's nice. So almost complete. It's got the poster. Aztec Adventure, $14.83 is the PriceCharting.com value. So now I'm going along, trying to look at everything, looking through PlayStation stuff. Looking through it all as much as I could. Terry points out, he's looking down at the DS games. He's like, didn't you just take that to GameStop yesterday for $12? I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, well, you want to do it again? Because there's a price of $6.50. And we did. We actually made a GameStop run after this, and I got another $12 for this. I kept the case because I knew the case would wind up in the trash if I gave him the whole thing. So I'm like, I set this out like I'm going to recoup a little bit. If I'm going to spend some money, I got to get something to get a little bit back because I got to have some game hunting money to continue. Little did I know that he was going to cut me a really good deal. But still, I made some money back from GameStop there. All right. Oh, another thing. I won't spend too long. You know, if you watched the video, not the $5 game box, but my last pickup video, you saw that I want to get that new Atari 2600 Retron 77. So I've been picking up 2600 games. Well, he had a ton of 2600 games. I'm not going to PriceCharting.com any of them, but we have River Raid, which is one I wanted. The cart's in good shape. The box is probably trash at this point, but he gave me a good deal on it. Some of these I may have already had. I really need to make sure I know what 2600 games I have. Megalomania, I'm pretty sure I have, but here's the one. I saw this, and like all those 2600 games had like $2 or $3 stickers on them, and I thought the 2600 games I kind of assumed if I get a big bundle, he'd probably cut me a nice little deal if I bought a ton of 2600 games. Moon Patrol is, for an Atari 2600 game, kind of, it's like a $9 game or something. Berserk, it's one of my favorite 2600 games. I definitely remember this one, and one I definitely wanted to try. Of course, I don't have the Retron 77 yet. We picked up Haunted House. Kangaroo, which I may already have. If I have any of these already, they're going to go in our 300 subscriber contest bundle whenever we reach 300 subs. Demons to Diamonds. And another one I definitely wanted was Yar's Revenge. So we got Yar's Revenge. Okay. So some 2600 titles, I guess technically in the game box, because I spent game box money. So I'm moving on. Picked up a couple PS2 titles from him that I just wanted to... Where did it go? Oh, fuck. It's over there. I'm not going to go get it. Fuck it. It's called Nano Breaker. Nano Breaker has a $6 price tag. It's worth $8.97. Fuck it. I drop something on the floor. It goes 10 feet. I don't know. King of Fighters 11. Not very valuable, but both of these, wonderful shape. Absolute wonderful shape. Disc in great shape. King of Fighters goes for $9.50. Finally, when I was looking through the Master System games, I'm looking through the Genesis titles, focusing on the inbox ones. Then I look at the loose carts, and I see Contra Hardcore, which I don't have. And I knew it was a pricier title. As one of the few, he did not have any sort of price sticker on. So when I bring up a bundle, I was kind of like, what do you want for that? Thinking he'd ask at minimum $30, maybe at most $50. And kind of trying to decide in my head what price I'm going to be like, it's a little bit too steep for me. he price charting like right in front of me. He said it goes for about 40. It's yours for 20. It's yours for 20. So, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So I basically got this for 20. Pricecharting.com has it valued at $39.98. I got everything. Everything you just saw from the Butte trip at that store, the A Games, for $75. I added it up. Everything but the 2600 titles I did not add up. It came up to $97.61 pricecharting.com value. With the add $2-3 a pop on the the Atari games. And we weren't done. We did some more game hunting outside that store. Like I said, we went to the GameStop. That GameStop in Butte, like, holy crap. Even the PS4 selection, like there's some used titles in there that are not in our GameStops here. That was pretty amazing. So we hit a couple pawn shops, we hit the Goodwill. Only one other find though, and this was, I wish I'd gotten footage, because they had cases similar to this guy's game store. They had like those old like Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft cases, and a lot of games, but nothing that's really catching my eye. Decent prices, especially if you bundled them up. They had some 2600 games on the bottom, so I had them open up the case so I can go through them. Then there was like a stack of disc games where only this edge was sticking out. You can only see that. And the bottom game with all the other games on top of it, on the very bottom of it, was Mega Man X Command Mission. They had it priced at $29. I looked at it. It's in good shape. It's complete. Northwest Pawn was the pawn shop. I said it's $29, the best you can do. He takes it up to the register, looks it up. He's like, how about $20? I was like, you got yourself a goddamn deal. Pricecharting.com has it valued at $28.74. Okay. I told myself to keep this short, but there was way too much to go over the past couple days. So I'm sorry even the pickup recap is long. And we're going to have another episode pushing an hour. But man, we got a ton of games. And it's been like this all summer. I know for a lot of the people I watch on YouTube, it's been a great game hunting summer too. So it's really nice to see everybody getting those finds and being a part of getting some of them finds. So, yeah. What another... Whew. And the best part, and knock on wood, that I find something, is I'm taking another trip this weekend. I'm taking another road trip for an event. And I'm going to be able to hit some thrift stores and hopefully some pawn shops at that place as well. I've actually heard, it's Helena, the capital of Montana. I've heard the pawn shops are actually pretty good. That's from Terry. He's like, I don't ever find anything in the thrift stores there. Pawn shops, I find stuff. So I'm kind of hoping that I find some good stuff this weekend too, which I guess you'll see on the next episode of the $5 Game Box, whether I do or not. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe so we get to 300 subs. Follow the Instagram, JuiceDaddy5. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. I'll see you soon. Bye.